All right, hey everyone. So welcome to the first episode of my playthrough of Thousand Empty Lights. So in the part 0, I kind of went over everything in the module, what the game's about. Today we're actually going to do some actual play. So if you remember, my character's name is Scaggs. He is a Teamster. 36 strength, 35 speed, 40 intellect, 46 combat, 36 sanity, 25 fear, and 38 body. He's got some industrial equipment, mechanical repair, jury rig, and 0G training. 15 health, and 2 stress AP 3. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. So we'll start here at the English. Actually, let's get our dice right quick. So we need a D20, a D100, and the D50 that I printed off. We'll actually be using that. So we don't have to do any quick maths, and I don't have to sound silly on camera. Alright, hopefully you guys like the new area. I got a new light set up. I got a new microphone. So hopefully everything is good to go. It looks like the cat has decided to go ahead and just start off in the video. He just can't help himself. He wants to be a little star. All right, let's go ahead and start. So your Promarine class airlift will drop you off at the offshore platform adjoining to the Kazan. Check surface level generator, enter the Kazan, and progress from section to section with caution. Before drop off, familiarize yourself with the reference sheet at the end of this document. So we've already done that. Serve God, honor the corporation, but first maintain the light. Then we have our letter of last resort. Alright, so as I said in the intro video, we'll start off by reading off our manual, and then what our previous letter left us on the MemoCon. And I went ahead and wrote the 1 through 10 for the hazards thing here. All right, so let's get started. Kaizen West. All right, first area. So here we have a layout of the opening area. So the power's off, so I don't know if this is a elevator, or I would assume maybe my cat has decided to open the window. Hey, little dude. So I assume there's a outward generator that I assume is on. So I'm getting dropped off by my carrier. So it is not recommended to stay on the exposed offshore platform for extended amounts of time due to the likelihood of force 10 plus gale conditions. All right, so I step off the carrier, and I'm immediately assaulted by the various strong winds. Luckily, my vac suit that I've already put on is keeping my skin safe. And I make my way over to the personal lift. So, welcome to Tello 22. Please ensure the entrance is properly sealed before proceeding. The new mate helper unit will guide you through the compression process. You may experience some discomfort as your body adjusts, whilst you wait to reach working level of pressurization. Please consider completing a letter of last resort, 9L, using the form provided in your Tello 22 Manual of Operation on page 20. After pressurization, you will be guided to the personal lift. Descent to Section 1 takes approximately 200 seconds. Do not use the freight lift. So the holding area of the base of the Kazan houses an emergency hyperbaric chamber, washing station, and supply lockers for personal protective equipment. Section 1 is accessed via a decontamination corridor and sealed door. Check panic before proceeding. All right, so from these, we know that there are lockers, a hyperbaric chamber if pressure gets to us. What else? And a wash, so if we get covered in anything. All right, so we step in, and as we're doing so, I'd say as we're going down, we're going to read the memocon. I'd say right below the memocon, we see that letter of last resort. But I think Scaggs, being the nonchalant guy that he is, or not nonchalant, but the kind of low-carrying individual he is, he's just going to rip off a page. He's going to circle the I regret nothing, crumble up the paper, and just throw it behind him in the back of the lift as he goes down. And he's going to go over to the memocon and listen to the previous lamplighter.
I've got a bone to pick. If you leave a form for people to fill, maybe you should leave a working pen. Just a suggestion. Must be a pressure thing. Well, I think I'll have to go without reading my impassioned parting words. As you may have established, I've arrived at the cave. I'm soaking. The waves nearly carried me off. It's daytime. Well, you can see that from the timestamp. But it's dark out there. Might as well be twilight. There go my ears. Quite the welcome party down here. The lift doors open, and I was greeted by hundreds of dead crabs. It took me a while to make sure they were all dead. What with the torch casting shadows. The ground's damp and loose. I don't trust the floor on the west side. Stepping through the crab bed sure was unpleasant. The Ivy Rock chamber is sealed shut. The supply lockers seem empty. Typical. Here we are. The way the others talk about this place, you'd think it was a haunted house. The sound down here does weird things. They probably piss themselves. And there's this groaning noise. I would bet that's the water outside. You know, it could almost be peaceful if you closed your eyes. I'm proceeding to section 1. Wait, gotta do my panic check. 70 meters it says in the manual. After that's just plain long and my gauge is out. Can you hear that?
And that's where it ends. All right, so hearing that he said his gauge is wrong, I'm going to immediately check mine. It says wrong by a D100, so 88. Yeah, that's super off. So it's supposed to be 70, and it is very much not that. So we're going to ask the Oracle, is my gauge off? 10. That is a no. So just straight up no. So I scaredly look at my monitor, or not my monitor, but my pressure meter, not pressure meter, my gauge meter. Let's go. And I see that it's correct. So I kind of give a sigh of relief. So we hear in this one that there's pressure issues, dead crabs. I think that's all. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on our hazard thing. So pressure and crabs. So we'll roll a d10 for each. We'll just use both of these. So 1 for pressure and then a 6 for the crabs. That seems appropriate. All right. So I make my way down the lift and I look out and see what I see. I take my light as the power is off. Well, I'd say the power is probably on here because of the lift. I probably would have came here and turned it on whenever, or whoever was flying me here turned it on. So there's probably lights in here. So the lockers, I see the chamber, I see the wash, and I see that behind the person lift is the freight lift. And let's see, do we see all the dead crabs? That is a 20. So a 20 is a no but. Alien forms, unfamiliarity / novelty. Interesting. So how can we work with that? Okay, I'd say I step out and I don't see any of the crabs, or at least not to the extent that he says. Then I step in something and I look down and there's this weird, almost alien-like creature. And I gasp a little bit, and then I point my light at it, and I realize that it's just maybe the guts of a crab that have decomposed and just look to be something alien. So I'm going to take a stress from that sort of little panic I've given myself. As I get my bearings, catch my breath, look around. I'm going to go to the hyperbaric chamber, make sure that's open, just in case I have any pressure issues myself. 18, so no but. Oh no. Alright, so that's a shocker deception. So I go to grab it, and maybe the static electricity or maybe there's a loose wire or something to the system immediately jolts me as I try to grab it. And I think I'm going to take, we'll do a body check, and if not, I'll take 1d3 of damage. So my body is 38, 42, so we're going to fail, but it's pretty close, so I'm going to say we take half a d3 as it shocks me. It's 3, so we'll take 2. So I get a nice jolt of electricity, and I fall to the ground, like kind of scared a little bit. But as I do, the door swings open, and it seems that whatever was holding the door shut is gone. Not gone, but was discharged with that electricity. Maybe there's like electromagnetic locking doors, and that's what happened. All right. Seeing that I can get into there if I need to, I'm gonna go over to the lockers and we'll see, is there anything in these lockers? 4, so I think it's just a no. Yep, so I'm piecing through the lockers and I see that what he said was 100% true and that the lockers are empty. Typical, so hyperbaric shock, and then lockers empty. All right, so we're gonna make our way over to the Memocon to leave our results, and then make our panic check and move on to the next area. So am I able to get over there easily? 13, no. No, but living quarters, sleep interaction. So I walk over to the B, and then I kind of slip on something. I notice that there is a sleeping bag here. I look around. I don't see any signs of any people other than this sleeping bag. I think to myself, am I not alone down here? So we're going to put people as a new issue. So D10, 5. That's pretty close. Crab people would have to deal with that. All right, so go over to the door, and I'm going to open it up. We're going to make our pressure check, or our panic check. So I have a stress of 3. So if we get above that, we're good. 13, yeah, we're okay. All right, so the doors slide open, and I step in, and they slide shut behind me into the next section. All right, so before I step out, actually I need to leave a message. So I go to the Memocom, and I say, doesn't look like the crabs are left, or at least the majority of them. One of the decomposed ones scared me a bit. I think the hyperbaric chamber's a little on the fritz. The electromagnetics give me a good shock. The last guy was right about the lockers. Nothing. I found a sleeping bag. Maybe someone's here. Maybe it was him. I don't think we're supposed to sleep on the job. It's supposed to be a one and done thing. Is this place bigger than we thought? Or maybe I'm just not alone. Alright, so we're going to take our next step into Section 1, the concierge, which I've written here. So, Section 1 houses the security facility for the site, located on the south side of the tunnel, including an armory, restricted to personnel with firearm experience. Directly east in this monitoring room. So, all right. Reports indicate the closed circuit monitoring that runs through the Tele-02 has been compromised. Storage units lie the north side. Office cubicles take up the bulk of the floor space for Section 1. And meeting rooms, including the executive suite, for the majority of the remaining space. Our rudimentary kitchen is located at the end of the section. Do not view, download, or disseminate documents of systems for which you are not authorized. Check panic before proceeding to the next section. All right, so we've got a armory, cubicles, and a monitoring station. Let's see what our previous lamplighter has to say about all of this.
Don't enter the cubicles. I mean, unless you know what you're doing. My eyes were still blinking from the light back in the case, and I stepped right into it. The place is booby-trapped. Managed to move out of the way just in the nick of time. Think I got a bit of a haircut. I've explored this half of the section. There must be 100 rooms in this place. I took a look at the armory. Still seems partially stocked. There's a makeshift tunnel leading off the monitoring room. I shone the torch down there. Nothing but darkness at the end. Fuck that. There's a ton of long, dark rags hanging down from the ceiling over the middle. A forest of the stuff. There's a note pinned to the first row of the cubicles that says, "Look all you want. But if you take, we'll know." No clue. I spotted scaffolding planks, rigged against the north side. Over the top of the cubicles, time to move on. Just, is it there? I'm here. Just about. I left the last module and there was groaning. Closer this time. I saw something break through the last door. Pegged it to the armory. Had to smash open one of the lockers to get a revolver. I can't stand guns, honestly. But, shh. Slow down. I was nearly up to the cubicles when it came. Another crab. The thing's a giant. That screech. It's fast, long, pointy legs. I managed to scramble up under the scaffolding walkway, but it got me in the back. I pulled the boards along with me as I went. Came up to the cubicles, but no further. I think it hears me. Well, it hasn't got me that bad. I haven't switched on the power yet. I just take a breather, you know. Hear that noise? What is this place? I saw papers in one of those meeting rooms. What's Project Hellmouth?
All right, interesting. So some good flavor for this room. So we see that there are signs of people living here. That kind of complements that sleeping bag I found. Then we've got giant crabs, which we're going to have to add. And then, what else? Project Hellmouth, whatever that is. Question mark. All right. So, seeing that the armory is pretty close, I'm going to see if they can maybe get some more ammo for my revolver. Technically, I'm not a Teamster, not a Marine, so it's not off limits to me, right? So, am I able to get into the armory easily? 37, that is a... Yes, but storage, reliability, utility. Okay, so we'll say I'm able to get into the armory, but I see that everything is like neatly stored away in these boxes. And I find the one labeled revolver ammo, and I try to pull it, and I notice that it's pretty heavy. So I think I'm going to need to make a body save to pull it down without it crumbling on top of me. 70, oh no. Yeah, that's not good. My body is a 38. So I go to pull it off, and I took off a little more I can chew. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was, and it crumbles down on top of me. And, oh, that's a stress since I failed the roll. And I'm going to take some damage. I think a D3 will be sufficient. Only one? Okay, we're okay. But we are taking some... working our way down. Taking some damage. So I pick myself up. And maybe... as the time has gone, a lot of this ammo is no good no more. And maybe most of it is revolver ammo that doesn't even fit my gauge of gun or caliber. And I'm gonna look through and we're gonna roll a D10 to see how much ammo I can take. Only one. Oh man. So I find this one box of my caliber revolver. And I excitedly grab it, and I realize it's the lightest in the bunch. And there's just a single piece in there. So I assume it's a 6-shooter. So we're going to just throw that +1 in there. So we have 7 ammo, but only 6 is loaded right now. So let's write giant crabs on here, actually. And we'll see what it is at. 9. Okay, yeah, that seems appropriate for a giant crab. Hopefully my cat's booty does not erase it. Alright, so we're going to go over to that monitoring place. I think it's down here, or is that the... I feel like this would be... unless these are... I don't know. One of these is the armory, and one of these is the monitoring, but I'm able to get over there easily or without issue. 16, I think it's a no. No, but wildlife, okay. Ooh, so I think this is where he said the hole was, where the creature is. So as I step inside, I hear that same groaning. And I notice off into one of the back corners, maybe going through some of the stuff, is that giant crab. So I'm going to sink down behind one of the desks and try to hide. See if I need to make anything. I said it's a fear save. So let's go ahead and do that. 54. That is a fail. I have a 25, so that's another point of stress. So I kind of let out a gasp, alerting this thing that I'm there as I drop below. We're gonna see if I was fast enough to hide before it could see me. 26. Okay, so I'm able to get down just in the nick of time, but it has heard me and it started to look through. So I'm gonna try to make my way back out without this thing catching me. I'm gonna ask though, are there any papers here, or does it seem like this thing has destroyed this room? 28. Yes, but restrict your authority class. Okay, I say there is plenty of papers here, but they're all over the place. As I'm behind the desk, as this thing is looking around for me, I think I'm just going to glance down and look at one of them, and we're just going to ask the Oracle, not yes, but we're going to use the numbered thing to see what the paper has to do with. Maybe it has to do with that Hellmouth 40. Artificial intelligence. Okay. All right, so I look at a paper and I say, or I see this paper on AI and its use in the facility. And I think that's going to add a thing to the... I know there's Ari, who is an AI thing. So we're going to add him to our issue. But I would assume this doesn't have anything to do with Hellmouth. Let's ask the Oracle. Does this intelligence thing have anything to do with Project Hellmouth? 46. That is a yes. Okay. Yeah. So Ari, the AI, has something to do with Hellmouth. So let's see what level 4. So another non-interaction. So we're building up. We're gonna run out of space eventually. And my pen fell. Oh no. But other than this, we're okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna need to make a speed or strength maybe to make my way out of this place without the crab attacking me. Yeah, I think it's speed. So I see this thing is on the other side. It's starting to get closer and closer. I peek around the corner and I see that it's turned around looking through one of the other things, and it's, you hear the crumple of paper underneath its long spindly legs. And I'm gonna try to make my way back out the room pretty fast. So let's do speed. Come on, baby. That's an 8. Let's go. All right. So I sneak out expertly and make my way out of the room without it catching me. And I'm going to very quickly make my way past the cubicles to point B to try to turn on the power and get out of this room. So is there anything that's going to stop me on the way? 33. Yes, but organic matter. Okay, yes, but. We'll do yes, but it can be avoided. So I walk across and I see that a lot of the ground where the cubicles are has been eaten away by this organic, maybe mold or maybe there's a fungus in here. So maybe, we'll use that fungus. So we'll add that to our chart. And we'll roll that. So the fungus has started to take over the organic ground here, and that's a 2. Wow, we are avoiding somehow all of this. Oops, I rolled Ferrari too high. All right. And we're going to, I'm moving pretty fast, so I'm going to have to jump over this hole that has been made. And I'm going to give myself advantage. We're going to do it Call of Cthulhu style, so we're just going to roll the d10's place twice and use that. So I'm going to use my momentum that I got from leaving that area to jump over the hole pretty quickly. So we're going to do speed, and that is going to be a fail. So that's a 56. So I'm going to go to jump, and then maybe I wait too light to jump, and then the ground that's already been weakened by this fungus is going to shoot out, and I'm going to step on some of it, and it's going to shoot the spores as I jump across. So let's read what that does. Fungal spores. Airborne spores have been detected in several parts of Telepathy 2, possibly originating from Section 2. There's been recording incidents of these spores aggravating personal death complications. Consumption side effects. So consuming any fungi from Section 2 will record a panic check. 50% check, it reduces stress by 1d5. And 50% it triggers hallucinations. So above 50 hallucination, cause a panic. And I guess it will just give me that. So let's see. 70, we're going to hallucinate. So these spores shoot out, and I gasp as I, just barely make it to the other side of the hole. I breathe them all in. So we're going to see hallucination. The next time you consult the semiotic standard, we'll result in prophetic visions. Semiotic standard. Acquiring a fear or gain 1d10 stress. Semiotic standard, okay. Did I miss that? Alright, we'll just play that off. Alright, so I have hallucinations. So we're going to add that to my character sheet. And then I think it's that I gain some stress. No, okay. I just gained since I failed, I gained the 1. So we're at 6 stress. So I'm over the other edge of the hole, and I'm just coughing up these spores that I've breathed in. And I'm going to pick myself up. We'll see. I'm gonna make my way over to the power, which I'm going to flip on. So does the sound of that and the power, does that alert the giant crab? 29. Yes, but noise, distraction, attrition. Okay, so it does, and it comes bursting out of this room looking around. And we're going to do the yes, but it's going to be affected by the spores too, and it starts breathing in, and it starts screeching and thrashing around, and I am going to try to hide, and I think with that I'll get advantage for trying to hide I have to wait, I think, 10 minutes for the power to go on. So we'll do speed to try to hide. 30, okay. Awesome, so I'm able to duck out of the way. I'm still breathing pretty heavily from the spores. And let's see, what was the thing from the hallucination? So, fear, negative save, or gain 1d10 stress. Okay. Oh, I'm realizing now this is a semiotic standard. Okay, so I'm going to get a hallucination with that crab interaction. So I need to make a fear, or I take 1d10 stress. So we'll do fear, and it's at disadvantage. So my fear is a 25. So 28, fail. 37, yeah. So I'm going to fail. So I'm going to take 1d10 stress. Oh no, that's a 10. So I'm at 16. Oh man, that's awful. All right, so I'm gonna say what happens is, instead of me being able to hide from this thing, I'm sitting there grasping at my chest, breathing in. I'm still coughing up some of those fumes, and I look to the left of me and I see this crab, and it's just peering over me, and it takes its pincer and just jams it into my stomach, and then I let out a gasp, and then I realized that it wasn't there, and it was a vision of the fungus. I creep around the side and I look where I thought the crab was coming from, and I noticed that the glass door to the monitoring room that I thought I saw it break wasn't broken at all, and I've just imagined the whole thing. And I realized at the same time that 10 minutes have gone by, and I've somehow lost this lapse of time during this hallucination. So I'm going to stumble over to the door. I'm going to, I think I'm no longer hallucinating, so I think I'm able to get rid of that. But I do have 16 stress. No good. I'm going to stumble over to the, the mod, and I'm going to leave my thing. So I'm going to go. Yeah. I think the mushrooms have spread from section 2. They're all over the place down here. I breathed in some crazy stuff. I'm not having a good time. Especially not knowing that I'm going to have to come back this way once I'm done. Turn on the generator to room 1. Something in here. Giant crab that guy was talking about. It's in the monitoring room. Something about an AI here. I remember the manual reading something about an Ari. I think it's malfunctioning. Something about Project Hellmouth it was a part of. I don't know. Moving on to section 2. Wish me luck. Alright, so we're going to make our panic check as we do so. And that is a 9, and we have 16, so we're going to take this. So a 9 is fits of laughter. Negative for incidents, form repercussions. Okay, so if any of these happen in this next room, so 3d10. Oh, yeah, so 9, 12. So yeah, just enough time to get through this next room. So I'm going to have so anything that has to do with these repercussions, I'm going to have a disadvantage on. Somebody kind of like giggling to myself, kind of at disbelief that any of this is happening. It's supposed to be a pretty standard operation. Walking through, like no one told me of this place, so just kind of sit here. I didn't hear the stories that apparently everyone else heard. So I'm just kind of in disbelief. So we're gonna write that in conditions. Laughing fit negative on repercussions in section 2. All right, and I think that is where we're going to end this episode. I'll be back with section 2. I think moving through 2 sections at a time is pretty, I think, going to be the best way to go to this. So I've got 12 HP. We're doing okay there. Not doing okay on stress. Taking 16. I got 1 extra bullet in my gun, and we've got all these possible repercussions. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So any of these could happen coming up. Already dealt with giant crab. Heard about Ari, and breathed in some fungus. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned for the next part. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.